Welcome to the Gritcast, where we get into the nitty-gritty of all things hockey. From the East to the West Coast. Here are your hosts, Matt Pierce, Nikosh Ganguly, and Darius Dominguez.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Gritcast. How are we doing today, Matt, Darius? You guys had a good week, good weekend. Everything going well in Manitoba, Matt? How's it feeling?
For the most part, yeah. A bunch of snow fell this morning, but it's that time of year.
Oh God!
I know you hate snow.
We don't even see snow till January here in Ontario now.
Like late December sometimes,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Speaking of which, with the snow coming, you're probably gonna need like a hat or something, right? So for every podcast this year, the Gritcast is sponsored by Snipe Show Apparel. So go check out their apparel on Instagram.
And Christmas is coming up.
Christmas is coming up. That's right, Matt. Thank you so much. So it's a great gift idea for anyone playing hockey. This is very popular with the kids who are playing hockey, especially like AAA in the area, the GTHL, stuff like that. So get them anyway. We got a lot of different options. So go check it out on Instagram. The link is in the description, or whatever it's called on audio. It'll be there.
Yeah. So, guys, last week hasn't been anything too crazy in the NHL. You guys talked about Jay Woodcroft last episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think whatever you guys said will probably be said again.
We also recorded a separate video.
Yes, there is a video that will be out before this show, so you guys will see that before that show. And honestly, for this show, we're gonna try and keep it a little more light today. Just enjoy ourselves. Honestly, I was sick. I was sick 2 weeks ago, and then when you guys recorded, I went to the Eastern Seals tournament. So that was cool.
What's that? How was that? Let's
talk
about that.
It's fun. You go to the draft party. You see a bunch of cool NHL legends. Like Lindros is there every year. John LeClair, Wendell Clark. They tell some stories. Drinks, food, all that good stuff. Go back to the hotel. You chill with everyone. We did. It was me, Mikey Stevens, and Brad. Y'all know Brad. Host of Game Over Winnipeg for the SDPN. I think we turned on a 3-hour Family Guy clips compilation before we went to bed, and we watched a whole hour of it. We watched a whole hour. I was like, yo, guys, I'm tired. It might be time to wrap this up. So we wrapped it up. Next morning, obviously, I can't play hockey. I don't know where to skate. Maybe in the next year. We'll see how that goes. But, yeah, just chilled. I had to bring my laptop because I had an assignment to do while I was there, so that was fun. And, and then after that, just some games, watch them play. The Easter Seals team, Rachel's Raiders, Steve's team, they had John LeClair, and he was cool. He's one of the guys that actually tries. One of the legends that actually tries, so that was interesting. So yeah, nothing too crazy, but it was a fun time. Nice to see everyone every year, because obviously Brad also lives in Manitoba and he flies in annually for that tournament. So always good to see him. But guys, let's get into some NHL stories this week. First things first, Matt. The Oilers, they were down, I think, 3-1 yesterday, and They made a nice comeback off of an Evander Kane natural hat trick. So, Matt, I don't know how the Oilers actually played. I didn't get to watch it. I was at the Toronto Raptors game yesterday. But how did you like anything from the Oilers, or was it just like, oh, yeah, we won, just win, baby, as they say? How was the game?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I was just pretty much just get through to this one, down 3-1 with, I believe it was 6 minutes left. Natural hat trick from Evander Kane. It's just sort of a feeling out process with Chris Knoblauch, the new head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, just trying to figure out a new system, getting adjusted to that, and a win isn't too bad either. I mean, it's always the new coach bump that helps out a team no matter whose team it is.
Seems like
get that new coach in there, and you go on a bit of a streak.
No, of course, and looking at the Oilers, I know Dylan Holloway, thing with the injury. What kind of impact does? Because I don't know how well he's done point production wise. I think we talked about it a couple episodes ago. None of the Oilers are doing anything, but it seems like McDavid might look a little healthier. I'm not too sure about that, but he's putting up points. Draisaitl obviously is putting up points, and maybe Stuart Skinner is stopping some more pucks here. It seems like everything that was going wrong under Woodcroft is going a little bit more right, and it's just if that stuff was happening under Woodcroft, you don't fire the guy, because I think for our money, Woodcroft was a decent coach. But what kind of impact does Dylan Holloway actually leave on the team based on where he was playing? Now he's out for what? I think pretty long term.
A few weeks. There were multiple reports. Jason Greger said a few months. Bob Stauffer said a few weeks. The impact isn't too. It's not confirmed as of right now, but he's one of those players. Uh, I don't want to defend him too hard because, of course, the bottom six, they do need to step up. But he's one of those players, like, on paper, doesn't look like he did much. But if you sort of see the game with the eye test, he's just getting purely unlucky.
Yeah, it seems like that was the whole Oilers team per se. Everyone was getting unlucky.
Yeah.
But you know what happens? You get unlucky for a week or two, and all of a sudden, someone doesn't have a job anymore. That seems to be always how it goes. But Darius, we dealt with having a new coach with the Leafs not too long ago. But how do you see the Knobloch injection helping them? Especially in the near future, just hopefully getting them back on that path because they have a long way to make to get back to the playoffs here.
Well, it's not a bad team. Like there's some holes, right? And they could probably Ken Holland probably could have done a better job, but it's not like necessarily.
Oh wow, that's the understatement of the century. Ken Holland could have done a lot more.
They could be a lot better. They could be a lot better. But I also don't think Woodcroft was a bad coach either. I think it was just bad timing and they were off to a bad start. Something needed to change. Chris Knobloch is a good coach, and he's going to coach the team probably to the playoffs. They got to make up a lot of ground, but they have a lot of, two of the best players in the league. So they're probably going to do that. And I like Chris Knobloch as a coach. Me and Matt talked about it on the video you referenced earlier in the podcast, that he's a guy who is going to be able to get the younger guys to give a little bit more. So I think that's exciting for Edmonton too.
Now,
for sure.
Sorry, there's a question. We didn't get into this in our video, but Chris Knobloch coached the Erie Otters of the OHL, and you're our resident OHL guy. Can you sort of tell us how Knobloch was a coach with the Erie Otters, like how he deployed certain players and just like if he was a motivator at all?
Yeah. I don't even motivator. I don't know, because with the rosters he had, you don't need motivation. One thing I found interesting is I'm pretty sure in his whole time there, Connor McDavid never led the team in scoring. It was always Connor Brown.
I saw that stat.
Which I thought is just crazy. Connor Brown in the OHL was stupid. Such a good player.
Dog.
McDavid also missed a lot of time. I think it was his draft year. He broke his hand in a fight, I think. So.
Oh, you were at that game, weren't you? It was in Mississauga?
It was against Mississauga.
I remember that.
It was in Erie.
I remember that.
Oh,
okay. That was crazy.
Yeah. Bryson Chanfroni, I'll never forget it. Bryson Chanfroni, he was tussling with them, and then McDavid punched the glass. It was crazy. But
hold on, not to cut you off. When in McDavid's so I guess when Connor Brown left, Dylan Strome was kind of leading those teams for DeBrincat at the end of the day. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, bro, McDavid was playing with Connor Brown, Alex DeBrincat, I'm pretty sure, and then Dylan Strome was your second line center with Remy Ellie, and I forget who's on the other
Taylor
side.
Radish?
Taylor Radish was there too. No, Taylor Radish wasn't. I don't think he was there yet. I could be wrong, but he was there. Darren Radish was on the Otters as well. He had Travis Dermott. Chris Knobloch has coached a lot of guys who are in the NHL now at a high level, right? So
yeah,
I really
a lot of guys at the high level, and Warren Fogle.
That's right. Actually, I don't know if he was coach at the time. He might have been. I can't remember if he was coach in 2017 still. He might have been. But he's coached guys who are in the NHL making big impacts now, and he coached them successfully. The Otters were, if they weren't in the final, they were in the Western Conference final every single year, and then they finally won the championship in 2017. And I'm pretty sure he was a coach at that time. So, he's been paying his dues in the AHL. Everyone kind of knew he was going to get to the NHL at some point. I like him as a coach. You should still be excited if you're an Oilers fan. It's not like they're replacing him with. It's not like they're going backwards. It's not like they're hiring Mike Babcock or something, right? It's still taking a step forward. I liked Woodcroft, so. But I don't think it's a step backwards. So I think it's, you should still be excited. He's a good coach.
A lateral move is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, just to step in a different,
something new.
Yeah, they're just stepping aside to see if there's a blockage here. They're just stepping aside and seeing if they can go forward with this guy. So I think it's all
for sure. Yeah, and I think, like you said, more of a lateral move, maybe change for the sake of change, but sometimes change for the sake of change can be a little good. But Matt, my last question to wrap the segment. I'm not sure if you guys talked about this in your video. Didn't have a chance to watch it just yet, but is McGM a real thing, Matt?
McGM.
At the beginning, I thought about it until I realized it's more of a GM Jeff Jackson scenario, because Jeff Jackson was a fan of Chris Knobloch. Knobloch was a finalist for the Wings head coaching job in 2015. So he's got history with Ken Holland too. But no, this is purely a Jeff Jackson move. Despite, there's a lot of things here with the Oilers, like Connor Brown, Connor McDavid's best friend and juniors. You got Jeff Jackson's former agent, now the CEO / president of the team, interchangeable. I don't really care. And now you have his former junior coach in Chris Knoblauch behind the bench for Edmonton.
Yep. So, like, I can see people believing the McGM theories. As you said, you listed out, 3 major points. And a guy like Connor Brown, who's having not a great season, injured, obviously, didn't play all of last year. It's hard to get back into the swing of things. Got a nice little contract because he's going to play those games, and it's going to, attach to the cap next year for the Oilers.
Yeah, one more game until the 3.125 bonus kicks in.
That's a lot of money.
Substantial for a guy who's done nothing in 9 games.
Yeah, it's a worrisome. I think they said they're gonna play him anyway. There's a good player there, man. It's just like injuries and such. But with the Oilers, they're gonna be a cap strap team. I know the cap's going up, but contract like that.
Couldn't you find him a home in the offseason? Like somewhere else, just bury him on a different.
That doesn't really matter though. No, because it's a bonus on the current contract.
Oh, so they're just
and all bonuses
it kicks in next year.
All bonuses apply on next year's cap.
So even if they trade him in the offseason, they'll have to pay that.
Yeah, it'll be on.
If he plays 10 games for the Oilers, yeah.
Okay.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
That's also
Why put
a Ken
that in
Holland
then?
move.
Who signed that? Wasn't it Jeff Jackson who signed that?
Holland. It was Holland.
But wasn't Jeff Jackson his agent?
No, McDavid's agent, right? Oh no, he was Brown's agent, I think.
I think it's the same guy who's now screwed over
Sweetener.
himself.
Yeah.
So Jeff Jackson comes into work every morning right beside Ken Holland, like, you dumbass. Now I got to clean up this shit.
No, here's the thing, Lou. Jeff Jackson, he wasn't always in Edmonton until this past week. He was out in Toronto.
Even though he was the CEO of Player Personnel or whatever he is?
Yeah.
What? That's weird, man.
That's like a work from home type job.
Yeah, literally.
He's joining Zoom. He's like, I don't want to fucking live. I don't want to live in Edmonton. And then he was like, I'll just take Zoom calls from Toronto or whatever. But speaking of Toronto, they are in the NHL Global Series in Sweden. I think the Leafs are coming off I don't even remember when their last game was. Saturday Monday?
Against the Canucks.
It's the Calgary game.
It was Canucks.
No, Friday. Friday was
Canucks.
Calgary.
Oh, okay.
So Saturday
I stand corrected.
They beat the crap out of one of the best teams in the league right now, the Vancouver Canucks. That third line of Domi, Yarncroke, Robertson looks pretty good.
As an outsider,
line?
Nick.
Yeah.
I want to say how nice it felt for the Leafs to sort of come together as a team. Like, of course they got the 2 instigator penalties, but the fights from Giordano, who's the other one?
Domi
fought.
Domi, that's who it was. Yeah, it's good to see you can't push around the Leafs anymore.
Yeah.
Can I just say the whole discourse?
For one game we saw it.
The whole discourse the next morning and afternoon on Toronto Sports Radio, where it was like, well, finally someone stepped in, but it shouldn't be 40-year-old Giordano. Man, shut up. Shut up. It's a reaction. Somebody jumped in. Everybody's been asking for it. It finally happened. Shut up. Enjoy it.
Well, the issue is it's not going to be 26-year-old Austin Matthews that's going to jump in, because that doesn't make sense. I don't want that guy sitting down for 5+ minutes. So, not going to happen. But the bottom 6, internally it was fixed for now. It was one game. You sit Reeves down. Bring up Bobby McMahon. Then you have. I know this is crazy. Lee's 4th line talk on a podcast, cliche as fuck, but that looked decent. The third line of Domi at center, Robertson and Yarncroke, I like that line. It's good. And then Bertuzzi seems like he's feeling it a little more, playing with Tavares and Nylander, and Nines looks good with Matthews and Marner. I think that looks good. There was word about Nikita Zadorov. That was the whole thing. Honestly, surprisingly, I don't hate the addition. I think I remember him too vividly from his Colorado days where he sucked. He was terrible. But ever since Chicago and Calgary, he's been there. He's been a really good NHL player. I just don't know if there's something bigger there in that Calgary, like a Chris Tanev, bring both of those guys over at 50% retention, and then really reformulate that defense, because you can tell when the Leafs are playing, they have some good defensemen, but I don't know what's going on with John Klingberg. They're in Sweden, and there hasn't been they haven't talked about him. There hasn't been any photos of videos about. I don't know what's going on there.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm very confused.
Can we talk about that? Because I noticed that yesterday, where they said that he made the trip. They said he's injured randomly. Okay.
We played on Saturday.
Yeah, But okay, so that's the thing. They said he was hurt Thursday. He probably won't play Friday. Didn't. He played Saturday, and then he's
looked
magically
decent
hurt.
too.
And he looked
decent on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what? Because he was sheltered. Thank God, finally. But
that's cool. Shelter
that's
him.
Great. Yeah, it didn't work out. Shelter him. Then. But anyway, he played, and then the next day he's magically hurt again. They make the trip to Sweden. This guy is nowhere to be found.
He's Swedish, by the way.
He's Swedish.
He's Swedish.
They should be. I thought the whole promotion thing was him, Yarncroke, and Nylander. Oh, we're in Sweden. It's the three guys. You know, I haven't seen anything about him. He didn't go to the Borja thing. I don't think he made the trip. They're lying. He's not there. And there's a trade.
He's in jail.
He's involved. He's either involved in the trade and didn't fly because of that, or he booked a one-way ticket to Robota Island instead of Sweden.
That's so funny. Like Klingberg not playing in Sweden. That's like a Sheldon Babcock move.
Yeah, but Sheldon keeps saying, he might get into a game here. Let's see how he progresses throughout the week. I don't even think he's there.
There's no photos or videos.
Yeah.
We don't know that he's there.
Get on the case, Detective Darius.
We don't know that he's there.
But he's not. And did you see the premiere? Okay, so they went to the premiere of the Borja thing, and the Leafs posted a photo on their social. It's all the Swedish guys on the team and Tavares. Where's Klingberg?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's Klingberg, dude? It doesn't make sense. He's not there.
It's like Dennis Rodman going to Vegas when the rest of the team is practicing.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's there because I think I don't think he's injured either. Maybe like Nick's, he has a couple bruises or whatever. Like
they're all injured. They're all injured right now.
They're all injured, throughout a year. But anyway, I think he stayed in Toronto because they knew he's being traded. They didn't pull the trigger on the trade because they're all going to Sweden. They're going to enjoy it. When they get back, shit's hitting the fan.
Also, another point, you said they're in Sweden. I love how the NHL says, hey, we're going to grow the game globally. Sweden?
The number one sport is hockey, dude.
That's like your number one European country of fans. They're going to grow the game in Sweden. I'll take up the Premier League says, hey, we're going to go play games in Brazil to grow the game. It's
doesn't make sense, dude.
That does not make any sense to me.
Dude,
it's cool. It's cool for the Swedish fans. Okay, you don't have to travel across the pond, but you can get a lot more creative with this. Like Melbourne, when the Coyotes and Kings went to Australia for 2 preseason games, that was cool. Do more of that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I like the idea of it being preseason games. I think. I don't know if that's just I think that makes
the regular season. You don't want the jet lag messing with players. Preseason, it's fine. It's all the young kids anyways, right? Get them this once in a lifetime experience.
That's a factor, right? But not only that, I was thinking about it this week because I saw a tweet about the Senators. The Senators games in Sweden are both home games. They lose both of those dates at home, so they only have 39 games at home this year, or whatever it is.
Who cares?
No, but that's a thing. Especially for the smaller market teams.
They probably get reimbursed by the league though for those 2 lost home games.
You would think, maybe. But I'm if you're a season ticket holder, I'm like, what the hell?
No, just go to Sweden.
Yeah, just go to Sweden. Yeah. That's what Dangle did.
That's right.
Just go to Sweden. And another thing is, I think the Red Wings play a back-to-back in Sweden.
Yeah,
they're playing right
tomorrow.
Yeah, they play the Leafs tomorrow. I think at 2.
Right now, at the time of recording, it's 4-1 Sens.
Yep.
They can, they'll get back on their jet on Monday or Sunday and they'll be here. They'll be gone.
Yeah, and I also think James Reimerson that he got shelled, and it's what are you gonna do? Put in the backup or Billy Husso?
Yeah.
Put in Husso, but then he has to play tomorrow in Sweden. So maybe don't. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it's certainly interesting. But in terms of the Leafs, Zadorov, I don't hate the addition. A lot of people are doing cap gymnastics to try and make it work. I'm just gonna the GMs figure that out. I think I've moved past trying to make mock trades on Twitter because no one likes them. No one ever agrees. It's we should give them Nick Abru. I don't know how to say his last name.
And they're like,
this guy could top out as a 3rd-line center. You can't trade him. What the fuck? Trade the guy.
No, trade no. If the Flames are you want him, see you later, dude. I think. Sorry, go ahead.
He was line mates with Matt Coronado, so there's something there.
Yeah. I think
college,
I think the deal's already done. I have to be honest. With everything that's been going on Twitter and all the details you can put together, I think it's already been done. They just didn't want to announce it before Sweden. And they can't because the guys you can't trade a guy and then he has to fly back from Sweden. It doesn't make sense. You're not going to get into the lineup that day or the next day. So, I think they're waiting until they get back. I think it's done. I think Tanev's coming for sure. I think Zadorov's coming. I think Klingberg's going the other way, which would be fantastic. Okay.
Who else would you send?
Abrazizi,
Reeves.
I keep hearing.
Reeves.
And Reeves not going. I keep hearing Abrazizi or McMahon. I would keep McMahon if you have the choice. And draft picks, because the Flames have to restock. These are technically rentals because they're up at the end of the year, right?
And burn the draft picks, dude. I don't care.
Who cares? If you want the draft picks, take them, man. Take them all.
Look at bro, Easton Cowan is a fucking god.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on down there.
Playing really
Dude,
well.
I don't know what's going on.
I think he's one of the best players in the league. All stats wise. Like a well-rounded player in the OHL right now. Like, probably the best. It's crazy.
Dude, that shit's crazy. But, just burn draft picks, bro. Win the fucking cup. Just burn them.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Are you guys ready for the early start time on Sunday morning?
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that.
You know what's awesome?
A game. Oh my god, not only is it like an 8 o'clock time, like start time in Toronto, you're playing the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
That's gonna put you right back to bed.
Can I just say on
the
a
2
personal
p.m.
note,
game? 2 p.m. game should be fun.
On a 2 p.m. on a Friday, that's lit. You know, that's fire. That's fire. Can I just say on a personal note for the Sunday game, I have hockey on Sundays mornings, right? At 10 a.m. every time, right? I get to watch the game before I go. That's sick. I think I'm up anyway because I got to go to hockey. That's sick. And then it finishes, I go to hockey and I go about my day. I think they should do that more often. Even here.
Yep. 8 a.m. games, NHL.
Yeah, I like
your pasta.
Yeah, they're going to
6 a.m. and then you're good.
We're all going to skip church and watch the Leafs play. It's better anyway.
I like when the NFL does the international games, like in England and Germany, because I can start my day off at like 8 a.m. and then it leads me right into the noon games. So like the international,
the rest of the day.
Yeah, more early games in Europe. I like, but
that's like the Premier League.
Minnesota. It's
like no, that's a bit of a sleeper game. I agree. That's like the Premier League because here in Canada or the United States when they're playing, it's like 8 a.m. usually 10 a.m. on Saturdays or whatever.
There's a 6-hour time difference.
Awesome.
Isn't that? I don't watch these sports, but like cricket and F1. Like if you're in Western or in North America, it's like. What do you like? I know people who watch F1 races and they start at like 2 a.m. They start at 2 a.m.
Well, do you guys follow F1 at all? Do you know what's going on this weekend?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so this weekend they have a race in Vegas, and it's like the first one they're ever doing, and it's been a disaster because nobody bought tickets. Everything's overpriced. It's just a disaster, and they'll probably never do it again. But anyway, they're doing it in Vegas, but because the majority of their fan base is in Europe and eastern part of the world, they're starting to race at 1 a.m. local time.
That makes no sense. Like
so
local time in Vegas.
So if you're in Vegas, it starts at 1.
It starts at 1 a.m.
And the tickets are too expensive.
Yes.
That's awful.
So they're like nobody's going because it's literally like in the middle of the night, and by the time it ends, it's like 3-4 a.m. or whatever.
That's gonna piss off all the locals.
Yeah, and they spent all this money to build the track and all this stupid shit, and the tickets are crazy overpriced. Like nobody bought tickets. Now they're like you can get them for cheap because they're like, please come.
What do they think would happen?
Sorry?
Who starts an event that's not like a party at 1 a.m?
Well, that's my literally. That's my thing. Like, why are you
Mario
starting
Kart?
If it's a special event for Vegas, it should start whenever is convenient for Vegas because you're bringing the event to Vegas, so the people who are in Vegas in the United States, enjoy that, right? So why are you pandering to the? I don't understand. Anyway.
Yeah, if you're gonna move the event away from your demographic, like. You have to start it for where the event is. If you're gonna do this, just keep it for the fans that want to watch it.
Don't even put it in Vegas.
Don't do it in
Dude, this weekend is so like upside down for sports because especially like Leaf fans and stuff, like games are at 2 and 8 a.m. and then F1 is at 1 a.m. local time. Like it's just stupid. Not even local time. I guess it starts at 3 a.m. in the morning for us? 4 a.m.
I don't even know what that would be.
That'd be because Vegas is 3 hours behind you, 2 behind me.
Right.
So it'd be 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So you watch the race, then you watch the Leafs game.
Yeah, this guy knows.
And then you watch football.
Yeah,
that's
football all day.
That's a triple header.
This guy knows.
That's
can't wait to watch just football.
Yeah.
Yeah. But guys, before we end this Leafs topic, that's what it was supposed to be, is do the Leafs go 2-0 in the Global Series? Matt, Darius, what do you guys think?
I think they split.
Yeah, they'll lose to Detroit.
Okay. And also, Detroit, they had a very hot start, but I think they've fallen off a little bit recently.
A little bit, but I think they're like I think they're playoff bound. I'm gonna be honest. They've surprised me.
I know.
a lot.
I know DeBrincat, like, he was scoring at an insane rate when the season first started, but I think
because they had that power play heater.
Yeah, which was cracked to all hell. But yeah, he has 10 goals in 15 games. I mean, that's still pretty good.
That's
what the hell?
Solid, man. No, Austin Matthews.
Hockey reference changed their font.
Their layout, yeah, or not layout font, yeah, it's weird.
So if I can see here, yeah, DeBrincat doesn't have a goal. Actually, he didn't have a goal in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, but he just scored today or yesterday.
Yes,
no, not yesterday. 5 days ago. Oh. Wow.
Wow, how do the days work?
I don't know. Everything's kind of blending together, Matt. The way
they all end in Y.
Right the way school's going for me right now, all the days are just blending together because I'm not sleeping that much. But now let's move on to the Vancouver Canucks, who are having an insanely great season. I know our Leafs trampled them, but hey, man, they're playing great hockey. I think Quinn Hughes, JT Miller, and Elias Pettersson lead the league in points. Like they're 1, 2, and 3 or something, which is insane. Quinn Hughes might win the Norris this year. Pettersson, I think Friedman said today, if he gets an 8-year deal, it's not going to be below 12.5. Well, yeah.
Yeah, dude. He's one of the premier players in the league, man.
No fucking shit. If I was him, I'm not signing 8 fucking years. What?
Get out of here. Yeah.
Hell no. But yeah, the Vancouver Canucks. Matt, what are you seeing from Vancouver this year? That's so different. That's like Brock Besser leads the league in goals. What are you seeing from them?
What do I hate to say it, they're a scary team, especially like not only do they have Demko putting up, I think it was like a 932, but they also have Casey DeSmith, very serviceable backup, 916, doesn't matter who you're throwing at there. And then, yeah, like Hughes, Miller, Pettersson, Brock Besser. I've also noticed Phil Pronik, 17 points so far. And just a bunch of guys just contributing, like even guys like Eli Mikheyev, Philip DiGiuseppe,
Andre Kuzmenko,
Kuzmenko, Nick, your boy. Yeah, so they just have the right guys contributing at the right times. And the Canucks, it's not so much a heater. They're the real deal under Rick Tocchet.
I mean, statistically wise, it's literally a heater. But if I can just pull this up here, they are playing great hockey, no matter how you chalk it up. Damn, this font is awful. What the heck? Okay.
Hockey reference, if you're listening to this, change your font.
But
I haven't even seen it yet.
They're playing at 105 PDO, which is, and their save percentage is at 515.944. That's really high. But you know, if you're a Canucks fan, who gives a fuck? You're first in the league.
How do you read that, by the way? Is anything over 100 kind of like unsustainable?
100 is like over a season. It's where you kind of end up. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, so they're playing. They're playing above their heads right now.
Yeah, like the Oilers. The Oilers were at like 90 something for a long time this season, which means they were getting super unlucky.
Yeah.
But like the way it works out is like you'll have a month where you're like 110, and then you'll have a month where you're like 90, and then it all evens out at the end.
That's
true.
Just
how it works.
Yeah.
But if you're playing at like 100 PDO, it's literally just based on like shooting percentage and save percentage, and the Vancouver Canucks are very high on both of those, which is why their PDO is almost at 105. I think it was higher. It's like 109 for a while. But other than that, they're playing good. There was when the season started, there was rumors about wanting to trade Connor Garland, and then Connor Garland started playing great. So they're gonna keep that guy. And I think they were talking about maybe moving a guy like Anthony Beauvillier, decent player. Sam Lafferty, 6 points. Not bad. We don't hate that. Ryan Reeves, not a point. But let's Darius, I don't want to get back into this, but you talked about how last week you talked about Ryan Reeves. How often do you think that guy plays nowadays?
Ryan Reeves?
Yeah, I know it's random, but I just wanted to talk about it quickly because I saw Sam Lafferty. I was like, hold on a minute. Let me ask this guy about Ryan Reeves because he was pro Reeves for longer than I was. So,
no, I still think he adds a lot of value to a team for what he does. The problem is he's not doing it. He did it for the first 2 games. They won. Everything's great. He stopped doing it. Now we have problems. I think he's got to sit for a while. And he'll come back into a few games. Like, if you thought he was going to play the whole year, I don't know what you're on, because it just was never going to happen that way. But I like Bobby McMahon. Very serviceable, fast. Yep. He hits on the fourth line. So, yeah, Ryan Reeves, he should probably give him some rest.
Yeah. So the reason Sam Lafferty is a Vancouver Canuck is because the lead signed Ryan Reeves at the end of the day. So I heard he's been a decent bottom six piece for them. The Canucks look very good. Darius, what are you seeing from the Vancouver Canucks this season? So I don't know if any of us had the Canucks making the playoffs this year. I'm not sure.
I think Matt and I might have, but as a wild card, I can't remember.
I don't believe. One sec. Let me just take a look at my playoff
All right,
prediction.
Darius,
No, I had
I'll
them.
continue. I'll continue on though.
Oh God. Okay. Sorry. I have them right here. I had Vancouver in 6th. I had Seattle and Calgary finishing above Vancouver.
Seattle
Yeah.
this year. What is going on?
Dude, everything is going wrong for them. Oh my god.
Anyway, in terms of the Canucks, I mean, you got Brock Besser. We talked about the guys leading the league in the points. You got Miller, Pettersson, Hughes, tied for first in the league. Fantastic. One guy who's not up in there in points is Brock Besser, leading the league in goals, or tied for the lead, whatever, with Austin Matthews and Kyle Connor, who also came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even realize he was up there, but anyway. So they're getting everything. These guys are leading the league in points. They have the league leader in goals. Like Matt mentioned, Demko's got a 932, which is just great. He's a good goalie. Great goalie. You need good goaltending, so he's there. Yeah, I mean, what do you say? Maybe they're playing a little over their heads, but even if they come down to earth a little bit, this is a playoff team now. And I think even looking back to last year and the year before, the talent is there. They just hadn't really put it together. And I think Tocchet has made obviously a huge difference, but I think the talent's always been there. It was only a matter of time until they found the right pieces to go and complement each other. So they're a team.
Yeah, they're certainly one of the teams, but I will also say to your Tocchet point and everything else about finding it together, you give me a 930 goalie, I'm sure you'll have a good team. I will say that to generalize the conversation. We talked about this in our season previews. That team, as good as Pettersson and all those guys are, they are living and dying by that guy in that Thatcher Demko, and they're living pretty well right now, I must say, with a guy probably leads the league in save percentage easily, but those kind of numbers.
He actually
those
doesn't,
those guys in Boston are pretty good too.
Dude, he's actually 5th in the league. Could you believe that?
Who's ahead of him?
Who's
James
first? Like Aiden Hill?
James Reimer in 4th with a 933.
How many games has he played though? You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's the threshold?
I could find that out. Hold on. It's giving me like live stats right now.
But the Canucks, they look great, man.
He's played 5 games. Sorry. He's played 5 games, which is not the greatest sample size. But you also got Aiden Hill at a 939. Vegas is absolutely stupid this year. Come on. Varlamov with the Islanders, so he's a backup, so I wouldn't even whatever. And Swayman, 944. Bro, the Bruins got to go away.
They will never go away, and that's the thing about the Bruins.
We got to write a petition. Get them out of the league. Make a new league. Go. You know that Super League that like the Premier League and shit wanted to start?
Super League.
Go make your own shit, bro.
Well, that's how the NHL started, because the NHA, the National Hockey Association, there was one of the owners they didn't like, so it's like, you know what, let's just go start our own league without that owner, and that's how the NHL was born.
Here we are.
That's your history minute.
That's low-key how the Barnyard existed. But hold on, let me clear my throat here.
That's our World of Shell team for anyone who doesn't know. The Barnyard.
All right, the BY. So yeah, the Canucks are fucking amazing. Let's move on to our next topic here. The Buffalo Sabres. I want to talk about them because there's 2 significant things going on. Patrick Kane, there was reports that he was going to be a Sabre. Didn't happen. And there was also reports that he met with the Leafs. Then there was a report today that came out that he didn't meet with the Leafs. The Leafs literally said that didn't happen. And then Tage Thompson is going to be out for a long time with an injury. I think all 3 of us were a little high on Buffalo. I think Darius was especially high on Buffalo. And they're not looking too hot. Devin Levi, it's his first season. I'm not too sure how it's going. I imagine maybe not as swimmingly as they would have imagined. So Devin Levi right now, he has a oh my goodness, what the hell? He has an 881 save percentage. That's not great. But yeah, he's a rookie. I think maybe we were a little too like, oh my god, he's gonna come in and be one of the best goalies in the league. Didn't happen. But Darius, are you disappointed in your Sabres right now? Are you disappointed in them?
My Buffalo Sabres?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say disappointed. Like, obviously, I chose them to, finish second in the Atlantic, which does not look like it's going to happen. Yeah, I wouldn't say disappointed. Like, I think they'll find it, but I think things are going wrong. I mean, Tage Thompson is out for a month. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal because he's gonna come around back around Christmas time, and then you only kind of find your game again like in January. So that's a big deal right now. I think I put way too much stock, just like all Sabres fans, into Devin Levi, rookie goaltender. Yeah, not given the greatest numbers. But I don't know. I think they'll find it. The pieces are there. They had a really good end to last year where you were like, okay, they're gonna find it here in the coming years. They're a good team put together here. So I think they'll find it. I think there's a lot of teams this year, like the Oilers. Like I still believe that they're gonna make this run and make the playoffs, right? Like I just think this year more than previous years, the American Thanksgiving rule or whatever, if you're out of it by American Thanksgiving, I think this year is gonna be completely different. I think we're gonna see a lot of like teams switching positions, and who's in a playoff spot right now won't be the same in February and March to me. Like I think it's going to be a weird year in that sense.
No, I agree with you. Matt, what are you seeing? What are you seeing, if anything, from the Sabres so far?
I didn't buy too much into the Buffalo hype. I had them 5th in the Atlantic, but still getting a playoff spot. And they're just a confusing team. Like most nights, the game against the Leafs, that 6-4 win, like they looked like they could, well, not so much take over the league, but go on a run. And then other nights, they've looked completely shell-shocked, like against the Bruins. They're still trying to find their own identity, and I think it'll extend into next year. I think next year we'll start to see it solidify, and this year, amongst the many other years prior to this one, it'll still be a bit of a learning curve for that team.
Yeah, and I think next year you might see the fall off of the big fall off of the Tampa Bay Lightning because they're not
happening.
Yeah, they're not looking that amazing.
Yeah,
I know
not too hot.
And like, despite what people were saying about Jonas Johansson, I mean, I was slandering the guy. He has looked decent in Tampa, and I was diving into the numbers a little just because I saw a JFresh chart for Victor Hedman, and like he hasn't looked amazing this year. Like he's still putting up point per game level production, but defensively he looks like age has caught up to him. Stamkos is having an interesting I don't know what's like the contract thing at the beginning of the year. I'm sure Kudrow and Point are still looking great, but it just feels like when I'm watching Tampa or when I'm hearing about them, they used to be like this like scary monster that's under in your closet or under your bed. I don't think I feel that anymore about them.
So dead.
Yeah,
dude. When the Leafs came back on from down 4-1 like 2 weeks ago now or whatever it was, I was like, you're scared of this team? The shit's dead, man. It's dead. Even last year, like they're not the same. They look like a team that's desperately trying to replicate that. That's what they look like.
A shell of
themselves.
Self.
Like it almost looks sad where it's like they're trying to be like, yeah, we're still him. They're not. And it's true. Like they're not. They lost the playoff series last year. They're out in the first round. And then this year, they're like 4th in the division,
was it
I think?
Boston?
They're fifth in the division right now.
Yeah.
5th in the division.
Yeah.
Not a very scary team. Also, I just pulled up the standings. It's been a busy week. I haven't been paying attention to the standings. What are these standings? Washington is 2nd in the Metro?
Dude,
I thought they were cooked. I thought they were cooked.
What is happening? Dude, what? Hey, what's happening in New Jersey?
Oh,
What's going on?
that I didn't look at.
Are they losing? I don't know what's going on.
They're 6th in the conference. Not even
Whoa!
sorry, not 6th. They're 6th in the wild card race.
Oh, Jack Hughes has been injured, to be fair.
Yeah, but what? I mean, they are only 3 points back of the Leafs, and the Leafs are in a wild card too. Weird year, but actually tomorrow's game between the Red Wings and the Leafs. It's a big game. Big game here.
A big game in November. Yeah, good one.
Yes, sir. Big game.
It does
big
not
storyline.
matter. Does not matter.
Come on, Darius. Come on.
Okay, guys.
I wanted to mention the Rangers, the New York Rangers.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if you had time for them on this
Dude,
podcast.
Alexi Lafreniere.
He's found
Whoa.
it. He's found it.
Him, dude. Respectfully, him and Byfield. I'm happy for both.
Yes.
They come around. You know who hasn't come around yet? Slavkovsky.
No.
Right. You're damn right, Matt. You're damn right.
Yeah,
You're
but
damn
who
right.
thought he
Matthew
would? We
Nice-
knew from the beginning.
Matthew Nice.
Right now. Oh, fellas, breaking news. The Red Wings just tied it. It's 4-4.
Oh wow.
But yeah, oh wow, okay, because they scored four times in a matter
Oh, dude, the
of
Sens, bro.
The Sens,
oh my
8
God.
minutes. The
Wow.
Sens, wow.
I saw that.
And-
Yeah, Ghostbird just scored. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, anyways, there was the highlight of Slavkovsky on Twitter going bar down on a shooter tutor, And of course that, all the Habs fans go, "Oh my God, he's
Okay, but
him.
Matt,
He's the
Matt,
real deal." Okay,
Matt,
what's up?
Matt,
What's up?
what you're not considering is that Slavkovsky could be working a 9 to 5. Like he
He
could
could
be.
he could be, but
And
he's
maybe
being
he
taught.
should. Maybe he should be working a
Maybe
9
he
to
should.
5.
Dude,
The way he's playing
dude,
right now.
that was
he
the
fucking
craziest
sucks.
quote. That was the craziest quote I've seen, dude. I was like, what do I do with this information you've provided me at this moment?
There's copium, and then there's what Slavkovsky said.
Yeah,
It's like,
he's
I could be working
I'm
9 to 5.
grateful.
Like, keep it up, and you will.
Yeah, dude. Like, if you're not putting up the numbers, buddy, you're gonna be.
Yo,
First
he's
step
gonna
is the
pull,
AHL. First step is the AHL, and then the next step is Burger King, bro. That's how it happens.
I was
He's
I
gonna
was
pull the
told,
reverse Arbor Jack guy. The reverse Arbor Jack guy.
I tweeted out his stat line. It's like, you could be working a 9 to 5 pretty soon, and I'm bombarded with, you should watch the games. I am, and he's still not doing anything. Like
He's like 4 points.
Yes. Okay. I said 4 points before we started recording. I just searched it up because I wanted to correct myself.
He's got 3 points.
He has 3 points, and
in
2 of
16
them
games.
in 16 games so far this year, and 2 of them came on opening night against the Leafs. So he's had 1 point since October.
The Habs are so cooked, so cooked. Logan Cooley was right there.
Everyone's
Shane
saying
Wright
Logan
even.
Cooley. Even if they picked Shane Wright, he would be in the NHL making a better impact than this.
No, it's
Also-
Wright hasn't done anything on Seattle this year.
Also though,
Because
no, but
Seattle,
also
Devil's
though,
advocate.
I don't.
Seattle's waiting though. Seattle's actually
Yeah.
developing him.
Yeah.
To be fair, fucking Montreal's like, this is what they did to fucking Kotkaniemi, and I think Kotkaniemi's finally found it. He's leading the Canes in points right now, if I recall correctly. Like, good for him. But like, dude, you don't have to put an 18-year-old in the NHL. You don't have to do that. Look what the Sabres did with Owen Power. They picked him first. They knew they weren't going to be great. They knew what was going to happen. So like, okay, go back to college. You know what I mean? Go back to college. Slavkovsky, bring him in. The Habs sucked like big donkey, right? Whatever you want to say about that.
Like, send him to Laval.
Send him to Laval. Let him tear it up there. He's probably good. He'd probably be good in Laval. You know what I mean?
The
And
Leafs
then-
picked in back-to-back years Nylander, Marner, and Matthews, right? In the first round. They didn't play. They didn't start the years in the NHL. They kept
The
them.
only one that did was Matthews.
Matthews did.
Right.
Buddy.
But because it was safe to. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? Because at that point, it was like, okay, Marner's coming in and Nylander, and we've built this team up knowing that these guys are coming in. Because you have veterans.
Yeah.
You have players that can play, and the young guys are going to complement these older guys like JVR and Bozak. So
Yeah.
I think for the Leafs, like, that made things easier in transitioning these guys to the NHL, because some of them still had time to develop, like, William Nylander in the AHL for a few years, and Matthews obviously came in, he's just a better player than Slavkovsky will ever be, probably, right? But yeah, I don't know.
Oh shit!
They
Are y'all
should've-
taking 40 goal, 69-point rookie Matthews, or whatever Slavkovsky will be at his ceiling?
Well, I can tell you last year he had 33. Oh, sorry. That's Pims. He had 10 points last year.
And I'm told he's going to be this big power forward. He's neither a power nor a forward. He's just out there like it's cardio. He's out there for cardio.
No, comparables are Josh Anderson.
Oh, great! So he's going to be a Leaf killer without the killer part.
Dude,
He's
if the
gonna be a
Habs
Leaf.
got to play the
He's gonna be
Leafs
a Leaf.
every game, all 82 games,
Oh my God, Nick! If he becomes a Leaf, I'm
dude,
going to clown
they
you
would
so
for
hard.
sure be a playoff team. 100%.
Dude, I know we're being a little extra with it. Like the guy, I think he's still 19, and I think if he was developed properly, he's probably like an NHL player. I do believe there is a second line winger in him eventually. I don't know when that's gonna be, but the Habs just like, dude, you guys are ass. Just put him in the A. Just put him in the A.
They're
see.
wasting time. They're wasting their time. They're not a good team. They weren't a good team last year. He should have been in the AHL. He should still be in the AHL until he figures out how to play in North America at a higher level. Because he's not making any
Yes.
type of impact, and I don't think he's learning anything.
No, he's certainly putting on his skates and his jersey.
That's what he gets for dominating the Olympics against a bunch of plumbers.
Yep. And Darius, you want to talk about the Rangers? We did not do that. Say your piece about the Rangers.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
okay. Lafreniere's looks like he's found it, all right, which I'm really excited for. Like you mentioned the Byfield thing, I feel like Lafreniere just found it. Byfield already came on the scene a little bit last year. Lafreniere, everyone was, shit-talking him, first overall bust. I think he's finally found it, and good for him because I think he's got to sign a contract at the end of this year or next year. I think he signed a bridge or something, right? So, yeah, that good for him. He's finally found it. Bald Panarin is sick. He's really good.
Bald Panarin is crazy.
Bald Panarin is crazy.
He had a midlife crisis and cut his hair off.
That's right. Yeah, no,
great.
it was evil. It was evil, or whatever. What did he say
Yeah.
about it?
Evil Panarin.
No.
Or Dr. Evil?
Dr. Evil Panarin. No, he said something about it, like it was evil or something, or it was bad mojo in his hair or some shit. I don't know. Mojo like Austin Powers. But anyway, dude, he's great. I think he's like 4th or 5th in league scoring as well. And obviously the goaltending is what it should be. We knew it was going to be pretty good. The defense has been pretty good too. I mean, they made some changes there too. Eric Gustafsson, wish they kept that guy in Toronto. But yeah, they're a good team. I think they look more promising than last year, I will say. Like 2022, I thought they were really well built, but with some of the guys like figuring it out, like Lafreniere, I don't know, man. This year
They also tried to like bring in like senior citizen Patrick Kane and Tarasenko,
right?
And it just clearly didn't work. Now that a guy like Lafreniere has finally stepped up after a while, I don't know what's going on with Kako, but like I would Lafreniere has finally stepped up.
Yeah.
Like that's huge for them. They don't have to go get an old washed Patrick Kane or an older Tarasenko in an attempt to like add some depth there. They can maybe bring in someone else that's fits more of like a middle six role and let Lafreniere be that first line, second line left winger, which is huge. And I always like seeing like players develop in real time. Like it's cool to see a guy get drafted, not have the best seasons, and then like slowly figure it out. I think it's always like a nice like progression to see. And especially for a guy like Byfield, I'm just switching over. Like I was really high on that guy. Just fucking look at him. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, and it's nice to see him figure it out. He's playing. I think he's the first line left winger. They transitioned him to a winger, and it seemed to help him a little more, help him understand the NHL game a little better. As a winger, there's a little bit less responsibility than the center. And maybe if he super succeeds at winger, you can slowly shift him back. And when Kopitar starts to, maybe hit more of a twilight in his career. So and that's good for both of them. You're seeing a couple of young guys really find their way. Because they basically didn't play for a year, and if I recall correctly, Byfield was already like technically like a year behind in development because of his birthday. Like he barely missed the cutoff. To be drafted the next year. So that's why I was never like people were calling him like 18-year-old Byfield. I'm like, bro, he's fucking 18.
Yeah,
he's 18 years old.
He was, yeah, exactly. Like he missed the cutoff, like you said. Like his birthday was a couple days after. He should have been in the 2019 draft, or something. I think, right?
No, it's the other way around. 2021.
Sorry, 2021.
He should have been the 2021.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yes. So like, he missed a whole year of playing in his development year. Like in his year where he's gonna make that huge jump. Like you cannot understate how much of an impact that makes. Right, like that's
basically it's
really bad for them. They're athletes. Like that's not that's not good, man. Like we were all sitting at home playing video games and shit. He's like, I gotta move my legs, like I gotta get active, dude. Like
I gotta do something.
It's not good.
Couldn't even get on a sheet of ice. You know what I mean? It was hard.
Bad.
Yes, but good for both of them here. But guys, we do have to we're gonna get out of here soon. Don't worry, we're gonna get out of here soon. The PWHL jerseys were unveiled. Really nothing to say about those because I think they literally came out and said these are placeholders, so we have kind of the season to figure logos and jerseys out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's dumb. If you're starting a league, you need an
identity,
a brand. You need brand identity.
Yeah,
branding identity
is everything. If they come out this year with word marks for the cities they play in, like I feel like you're damaging your image a little bit. Like people are not going to catch on as fast as they should, and then this brand new exciting league is kind of have a lackluster season in terms of branding, and then you'll come into the second year and it's like, yeah, but the magic is gone. Like look at Vegas, right? That first year, magic, right? And I feel like they're missing it a little bit. Like it's the thing with
you got to get the playoffs,
but the magic.
And who's
going to
Who's going to buy the jerseys that they know they're going to be different next year?
That too. It's not a very good. I don't know.
Got to catch that lightning in a bottle when you can, because it goes very quickly.
Yeah, especially because I feel like people, hockey fans, the major demographic of hockey fans, not the most progressive people. So do what you will with that information. Another thing was, I think trigger warning here, the Hockey Canada thing, they literally just came out with a tweet that said they violated code of conduct. I'm like, well, yeah. You know what I mean?
You don't say.
Thanks for that.
So
that's what you took this much time to say. It's like we've ran the numbers to say they violated a code of conduct. But we knew that.
I do not know what is going on. Now, they said they're going. The hockey is. I don't know what's going on. There's gonna appeals. They're just dragging this out. I don't know what's going on, but we are gonna cover it when major news happens. But guys, let's wrap the show there. Before we get, I do have a rap question today. Throwing a surprise at you. But what we are gonna do is say thank you guys so much for listening or watching so far. Always appreciate it. Season is going fun. I feel like this podcast, more of a round table, laid back. I think we've been missing those because 1 week I'm not here, 1 week Darius isn't here. Matt, he's always here.
I'm the constant. I'm the Phil
Matt
Kessel of the show.
Matt's so consistent. I love it.
Matt's so locked in. Matt's
You
so
know what
locked
you get
in,
with
but,
Matt. He's consistency.
But guys, for our rap question, what we're gonna do quickly is we're going to draft a top three, a 3-team, months of the year.
Oh
So you have
my
January
god!
to December. You have
Okay.
January
Let's
to
go.
December.
Let's
You have January
go.
to December, and you get to draft the months of the year. Now, what I am gonna do is we're gonna spin a little draft lottery here. So let me spin this.
I'm gonna
real
hurt
quick.
a lot of feelings with this.
So Matt, you'll be number 1. I'll be number 2. Darius will be number 3 for first overall. It is number 2. It's gonna be me. Yeah, let's go. And then next is gonna be number 1. So it's me, Matt, and Darius, and then we'll do a snake draft, obviously. All right, guys. So with the first pick, I'm going to select from the end of the year, number 1 overall. You gotta give me December, man. You gotta give me December.
That's
Come
the
on.
unanimous number 1
You
pick.
gotta give me December.
Shit.
Number 1 overall. Give me December. Let me write this. But yeah, okay. So
Yeah,
Let
keep
me
track
write
of
this
this.
okay.
December is like undisputed champion, dude.
It's
Dude, easily. December is
Christmas. You got the
goated.
World Juniors. You got 2 weeks off of school. Well, one of those weeks is in January, but
No,
it's
but
great.
at that point, it blends in. It all blends in when you.
No,
get into
dude,
that
it really
winter
does.
break.
It really does.
You're like, we're in the new year. What?
It's cold outside, but you can get a little hot chocolate, get some blankets, bundle up,
The best.
turn on a Christmas movie. There's nothing like the December vibes, like the video games. I don't know. I'm always just more nostalgic about playing video games in December than I am about, like June and July. So that is why I will be picking first overall December. Matt, it's going to be your pick.
December was my number 1 choice. But with my first round selection, I'm going with October.
God, dude.
It's
That's a good pick, too. I'm going to have that
not
second.
only is it Darius's birth month, that's why I didn't pick it. That was the last reason I picked it, actually. You got the NHL season starting. You got the NBA season starting. You got the NFL in full swing. Baseball playoffs. You have Thanksgiving. You got. It's the perfect.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
To be
To be fair, and for my money, it's got the best weather of the entire year. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's sweater weather. You can wear shorts with your sweater. Who cares? October, my first round selection.
Good pick.
Boys. Those are fantastic picks, and that's what I would have picked in my first overall pick. All right, but I'm gonna have to go to my plan C here. All right, and I don't know if you guys will agree. I don't want to hit. I was thinking a different month than this at first, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to hit that yet. I want to see if I can get that for my second overall pick. All right, so I'm gonna go. This might be a little off the board. I don't know if people are gonna agree. I'm gonna go with April because there's just something.
I would have said April.
There's
if
just
it came back to me, I
something
would have said April.
in terms of hockey, in terms of weather. The weather's starting to change. Daylight savings is back. You don't have the early sunsets anymore. Hockey's on. It's light out. It's light out when hockey's on.
It's the playoffs.
It's
That's
the
April,
playoffs.
baby.
Yeah,
It's
the playoffs are starting.
and the NBA playoffs.
There's something about the Leafs in the playoffs in April when it's still sunny outside and the games are on. It's still the second period. It gives me this type of feeling where I'm like, this is it.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with April. I have to go with April here.
Darius, you have back to back though, so go for it again.
I gotta go with my second pick. I think it's a little self-explanatory as well. I have to go with July. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
School is out.
Yep.
School is out. Summer is great. I feel like August gives me a little bit of what do they call it? The Sunday scaries in a way because school's about to start again.
Yeah, school's
Dude, August is the longest Sunday of all time.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
the worst. So I'm gonna have to go with July. School's out. Summer kicks off. The weather is awesome. You can hit the beach, whatever you want. July is my second pick.
That's a good pick, Matt.
It boils down to 2 here. And you know what? You know what? I'm gonna go as a sports reason here. I'm gonna go March. It's the hockey season. It's ramping up. Full flight. Baseball's back. You got March Madness, NCAA. Like that is like that first Friday of the NCAA or first Thursday is one of the best sports days of the year. You got basketball from 11 a.m. to midnight. Fantastic. March, it's getting a little better outside. It's not too bad. I want to say it's still a little chilly, but not too chilly enough. So March with my second pick.
Coming back to me, I'm also gonna pick, the other summer month, arguably the second best summer month. I'm gonna go to June. I feel like I'm getting June at a decent spot here. So in elementary school, like pre-university, June was so lit because school's ending. It's hype. School's getting easier. The weather's getting warmer. It's like July, but like the beginning stages. We're entering that transitional phase of the year. The weather, it's not too hot just yet. I feel like August is where you get the super hot days, late July. But June, school's ending. For university, like you're really in the prime of your summer vacation. And honestly, like considering where I'm picking, I believe this is gonna be this is the sixth pick. I think June's fine at sixth. It's a decent pick at sixth. So I'm gonna go June, and I have back-to-back picks here. And you know what? This one is going to be a little bit maybe off the board, but I don't really like any of the other months available. Like I could have went August. I'm not going to go January because fuck January. I'm not going February. Fuck February too. I'm not going to go November because November is you're just waiting until Christmas. I'm going to go September with the third pick here, and I'll tell you why. The first month of school, nothing fucking happens. It's just fun. You're getting all your classes. You're seeing all your friends again. That's always lit. You're ramping into the beginning of hockey and basketball and football. Everything is slowly starting up. You're finally getting back into it. Like, I feel like even when you're not in school, like August is always fun. Like even if you're working every day, but September I feel like it's like the second New Year almost. September 1st, it just feels like that second transitional phase. The weather's cooling down a little. Like Matt said, October is the best month, but I'm getting September. He's a good kid. He just, he does his thing every year. He's consistent. I like September. And I think getting him to round out my team, I have December, June, and September. I don't hate that at all. I like that. Matt, it's going to swing back to you for your last pick of this draft.
You mentioned November, and I was like, yeah, you know what? November is just wait after the 11th. It's just you're waiting for Christmas. So with that, Darius, you didn't take May at all, right?
I didn't take May.
I'm taking May with my last pick.
Let's go.
It's Matt. Why May? Why May?
It's the second and third round of the playoffs. I know the Oilers have played in May the past 2 years. It's made the month more enjoyable per se. It's the second last month of the school year for normal people. I know in the States, May is like the last, and then they go for summer vacation. But May and June, those are the two school months where it's like, you know what? You got that big project done. It's class party time. Home stretch.
Yep.
It's all smooth sailing from there. In May is my last pick. So I took October,
March, and May. I have it written down. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what?
Darius, round of the draft here, buddy.
This month fell to me. All right. If I was doing a top 5, the only months I would have been missing out of this list is the two that you took first. All right. October and December. So I'm gonna go with. It's gonna be off the board. You guys are gonna hate this. Okay. January. I know it's weird. A lot of people think it's cold as hell. It might be depressing. I get this feeling it's right after Christmas, New Year. I like it. I don't like going back to school. I didn't like that part. But pond hockey is in full swing. I love that. Hockey is also in full swing. All right. It's a little bit of a colder month.
January hockey sucks.
No. Yeah, maybe in the NHL, but pond hockey's in full swing. All right. I have to say January is it's my third pick. It is my third pick. I like January.
Round out the draft. See,
you do have the World Juniors in the NFL playoffs.
My only problem with January is like it has to follow up Christmas. That's my only problem with January.
Yeah, so it's never gonna be as good as December.
I feel like I know, but that's fucking why I hate it. It's like you've been waiting for your birthday. It's 2 weeks before your birthday, and all of a sudden it's the day after your birthday, and it's like, man, fuck. Now I gotta wait a year for my birthday.
What do I do now?
It's Christmas. It's Christmas. It's the middle of November. You're like, guys, if I get through this semester of school, Christmas pulls up and I'm good. And now it's January 2nd. And you're like, man, fuck that whole fun week. You get Christmas Day, you get Boxing Day, you get New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That week is just like one. big day. It almost feels like, 'cause so much shit is happening. And then it's just January, man. You sit there and you're like, man, fuck. I'm going back to school. It's cold as fuck. I got a shovel. It's like all shit's going on. That's just why I don't fuck with January that much.
Make it. January is what
it's like December is the party and January is the hangover. Like
yeah, January is like you gotta clean up the next day.
Yeah.
Like, man, fuck. Dude. Okay,
this is
guys,
awful.
But that was a lot of fun. I think we should do more of these, and the show on a later note. Okay, so my team is gonna be December, June, September. I really like my squad. I can't lie to you guys. I think December is like far and away the best month of the year, which is why. Yeah. And then Matt, you had October, March, and May, and Darius rounding it out with April, July, January. Guys, if you're watching this, on YouTube or TikTok, wherever it is, who do you think won? And that being said, guys, thank you so much for listening or watching so far. If you're listening or watching in the day, have a great day. And if you are doing that at night, have a great night. And if you're listening to this while driving, also a good night for me, for Matt, for Darius. I am the Gritcast. See you guys next week. And, let's enjoy our lives for a bit here. Take it easy, everyone.
For more content, visit our YouTube channel and check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to follow the guys on social media at Matt_Mondays, at Nick LaFlame, and at Darius Dominguez.